going so far? Okay, I got it. Yeah, this is fine.
Testing.
Here we go.
Testing.
Yep, you heard that.
All right, Shalom, Mizu. Shalom, Yahbashim, Yahshabrakadam to the brothers. Shalom, Yahshama, Athaba, Hashem, Yahshai to the sisters. We are the ISUPK Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. So as you should already know, today is the Sabbath service. We're going to be going over now Genesis chapter 13. Last week we went over chapter 12. We're actually going to cover the whole chapter. We're going to do verses 1 through 18 today, but we'll read the first few verses in the Hebrew and go over it in English. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And with that, you got anything before we go?
Loud, sir.
So with that, I might give him just me and the brother here.
La Yashala, which means to Israel. Majum Hapanya Hakwadam, which means to rise and face the east. We'll be going over the prayers in the Hebrew and in the English. Repeat after me. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Batazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Nathanawa. Come. Paul, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawasnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawaskinawa, Wala'a, Kabaya'anawa, Bonasaya 1, Abal, Kabashainawa, Ayan, right, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Pa'ara, Iwalamyam, Aman.
English, our Father.
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
Hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh. Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day.
Our
daily bread. Forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
into
temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory.
Forever.
So be it.
Amen. Amen. This is Hakak, the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Ba'akashah. Natan Lanawa. Hakak. Larpa'ah. Kal Maka'ala. Makal Wadawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamata Zarayim. Hakak. Lahakoyim. Hamakim. Hakak. Arakawah. Hatama'ala. Nagar Shun. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Go Wada. Aman.
in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please
Please
give us the power.
give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahushua?
Why Yahushua?
Why Ma'at Allah? Why Allahayim? Mataz of Ya'ah. Select it. Mataz of Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Halawap Yah. Hasaranya. Hakwatas Ayonya. Hako Yoyonya. Waha Akwakin. Yahweh. Bashem. Yahushua. So what? Amen.
Amen. Now the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
Generals.
The generals.
Captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The
The troopers.
And sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121, the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. All. Ahorium. Mayan. Yaba'ah. Azoya. Azoya. Ma'ain. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. Ayatan. Lamawat. Wagarka. Al Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yashala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazarka. Al-Yad. Yamyanga. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Bakal. Right. Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabuaka, Maida, Wa'ait, I will.
Psalm 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help.
My help
coming from the Lord.
coming from the Lord,
Which made heaven.
which made heaven
And earth.
and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold,
He that keepeth Israel.
he that keepeth Israel
slumber.
shall not slumber
Nor sleep.
nor sleep.
Lord is thy keeper.
Lord is thy keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee
From all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even.
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Adam Yalaka. Al Taka Arash. Wa Al Tashakwat. All. Kayahana. Owayagyaka. Yahama Yawan. Ra'ash. Al Aimaka. Ya'ara Yamwa. Sawadah. Bayata. Yatazawa. Al Tazapawanyaka. Amara. Lakawa. Wanakakidim. Magalia. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shem Yashala. Awada. Kaya. Nawa Atazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Alyaka. Bariath. Yakaratwa. Ahoya. Alawam. Wa. Yashamai. Alayam. Bawa Abba. Wahagaryam. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Palashath. Ain Yashadda. Tazawar. Gamashawar. Nalawa. Aman. Hayawa. Zarawai. The Bunya, the Wat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadgan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Koyaswan, Nashamagwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shah Thamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakaza Zalmanat, Paul, Nasa Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarashah, Lanawa, Nawat, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shah Thamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rabaka, Kaash, Daba Ira, Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Kalahat, Hariam, Kun, Tharadakma, Masa Iwaka, Wabasai, Wapaka, Thabahalam, Mala'a, Kunyahum, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Daya, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Aluan, Alka, Ratazah.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
Thine
enemies
make a tumult.
And they that hate
thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
And
consulted
against thy hidden one. They have said,
Come
and
let us cut them off.
From
being a
nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
They have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
They
are confederate against
thee.
The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab.
And Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at the door.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red. And like Zaid. Yea.
All the princes.
As
the
Ba.
As the
And as the Bunda.
Who said.
Let us take to ourselves.
The house of God.
In possession.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burns the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
As the flames set the mountains on fire.
And as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
Make them afraid. With thy storm.
Fill
their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled. Forever.
Yea.
Let
them be put to shame.
And perish.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Art
the most high. Over all the earth.
Sorry, face me. All right, you may be seated. All right, so we're going to be going over again. You're just now tuning in. The book of Genesis, chapter 13. Slap it. Give me 1 second. 13, verses 1 through 18. We're actually going to go through the whole chapter today.
Very good chapter.
We usually do the 7 verses, but decided to go a little farther for today. It's a short chapter, too, so there's a lot to cover.
Okay. Let me get right.
Got some people checking in. Trooper I Warrior.
Lord Christ. Okay. It's up here. Genesis, 13, 1 through 18. Well, I'll do the first 7, and then we'll do the 7, then I'll just finish 8 through 18 later.
Yep.
That's fine. Hold on, sir. All right. Let's get. Okay. All right. This will be the book of Genesis, the 13th chapter, verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. Wa'yal, Abaram, Mam Tazar, Rayam, Hawa'ah, Wa'ashathwa, Wakal, Ashar, Lawa, Walawat, Imawa, Hanagaba, Wa'abaram, Kabad, Ma'adam, Bama, Kuna, Baka, Sapa, Wa Bazahaba, Wa Yalak, Lamasaya Yawa, Managaba, Wa Ait, Bayath, Al, Ait, Hamakuwam, Lashar, Hayaha, Shum, Halaha, Ahawa, Matha Khala, Bayan, Bayath, Al, Wabayan, Ha'ayah. Verse 4, Al, Makwan, Hamad, Zabaka, Baka, Ashar, Aisha, Shum, Bara'ah, Shana, Waya, Kora'ah, Shum, Abaram, Basham, Yahweh, Wagum, Lalawat, Hahalak, Abaram, Hayah, Taza'ana, Wabakwar, Wa'alahayim, Wala'ah, Nasha, Atham, Ha'aratazah, Lashabath, Yakadwa, Kaya, Hayah, Rakah, Washam, Rabah, Wala'ah, Yakarwa, Lashabath, Yakadwa. Verse 7. Wayahaya, Ryan, Bayan, Ra'ayah, Makwana, Abaram, Wabayan, Ra'ayah, Makwana, Lawat, Wahakan, Anya, Wahakan, Anya, Waha, Porah, Zayah, Azah, Yashab, Ba'aratazah. Verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew.
All right, so now we're going to start from verse 1 through 7 in the English.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, the 13th chapter, and verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had. Slack, if I may.
Go ahead.
You got to remember, we just read last week that Abram went down into Egypt with his wife Sarai. He did not explain to them that this was his wife. He told her to tell them that she was his sister because he had fear in his heart. And woe to the man that has fear in his heart. Anyway, so they went down, and the Lord started plaguing Egypt. He started plaguing that particular house of that Pharaoh. And so the man wanted to know what was going on. He found out Sarai was his wife. So what he did after he gave him so much cattle and so many men and so maidsmen and maidswomen and what he asks and she asks, he ended up sending them on their way. So now Abram is back in his land. Well, now Abram is leaving his land to get up out of Egypt to go back into the land of Israel or the land of Canaan at this point right now. Just for a quick recap. All right. Anything you want to say, Sean?
No, you're fine.
The book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
Now, again, I'm pretty sure you already explained this, but Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. Part of that reason wasn't the best way, but again, prior to them coming there, he did sadly lie about Sarai being his sister when it was actually his wife. So remember at that time, just like how today, like we practice, we pay a dowry. Now the dowry could be whatever. Perfect example, Jacob. Jacob, his dowry that he had to pay for was originally 7 years to get, I always get his Leah and Rachel, Slakia. He wanted Rachel originally, supposed to be 7 years. Now, 7 years he wasn't giving out money. He wasn't giving out shekels of silver. No, he was working. That was his dowry that he was paying. But then he ended up getting Leah because the father wanted his eldest daughter, because Leah was a little older, to be married first. So then guess what he had to do? He had to serve another 7 years to get Rachel. So in total, he worked 14 years for his originally 2 riz, but then he had Biltha and Zilpah as well.
Yes.
The handmaids. But my point being is a dowry. The dowry that the Egyptians, or Pharaoh more specifically, paid Abram was, stock, cattle, riches, stuff like that.
Right.
So he still has that stuff. So he's going into this other land. He still has all these things. I just wanted to go over that. You got anything from me?
Live, sir. Genesis, the 13th chapter, and verse 3. And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai. Verse 4. Unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. Question. why, or give me a precept on calling on the name of the Lord. Why is Abram calling on the name of the Lord? Give me some backstory. If you can't, I mean, I'll give you a couple seconds. If you can't, don't sweat it. Why is right now Abram calling on the name of the Lord? And is this anything new that men call on the name of the Lord? I mean, if you've been tuning in our classes since what, September, August? You've been tuning into our classes. There have been men who called on the name of the Lord. Why are these men calling on the name of the Lord? What do they know that other men don't know? Matter of fact, what do you know? What do we know that other people don't know? They think they know, but what do we really know? Right? Because we know who we serve, they don't. Why do we call on the name of the Lord? What benefit do you get on calling on the name of the Lord? Especially in times of despair and in trouble, or when you're separated from everybody else. Why do you call on the name of the Lord? I'll give you a couple seconds to answer. If not, don't sweat it. Because you know I got precepts. This is not.
Orange.
You did. You are a prophet. You the
Uh,
highest ranking man too. You.
I was just saying.
It is.
A lot.
I gotta drink it. But
All right, so if nobody, you just want to give it to him.
so he can give you strength to fight through whatever you're going through. That's a good one. That's a good one,
Okay.
Warrior. I mean, you're right. It's not a wrong answer, really.
If I could, real quick. Okay, how was Abram able to do that though?
Right. So he can give you strength to fight through whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
Right. That's the reason why you call on the Lord. How is he able to call upon the Lord though?
A big hint. We've talked about this quite a bit in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Abram was the most recent, of course, but there was also Noah.
Right.
What was different about Abram compared to other people? How was he specifically able to call out to the Lord?
Right.
And the Lord actually hears him.
What's the precept? I know the precept. The one you can go through. I just heard the way you worded it.
I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm pretty sure you know. Let's give y'all a second just to answer. How was Abram able to call unto the Lord, and the Lord hears him? I'm giving y'all a huge hint by saying that. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. I'm on you. You know, I'm on you. I'm about to go and give it to you. No, I was kidding.
All right. So go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
Read that one more time.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
So God heareth not sinners. Any more on that?
But if any man be a worshiper of God
Come on.
and doeth his will,
Mm-hmm.
him he heareth.
So him he heareth. Just like how we've been going over the last couple of weeks, let's say because he
Hear the
hear
prayers of the righteous.
Most High
Same
Christ, right? So John 9 and 31.
Oh,
So that's the precept that I was looking for because he hears Abram. Abram is allowed to call unto the Most High, and the Most High will actually hear him,
right?
Because he's righteous. Same thing with Noah. It's no different. So not to get too out of context, but you as a priest, you as a sister, whoever, trooper, don't matter. You as one of the 12 tribes of Israel, the real Israelites, not the Israelis or the Jewish cats.
Right.
You need to understand, okay, look, the Lord is not going to hear me if I'm smoking weed. The Lord is not going to hear me if I'm out here unaliving people or being a thief or watching, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, watching adult films, being a promiscuous woman, believing in trans age and all that nonsense. That's right? Crazy. You follow Babylon, you're not following the Most High. My point being is, don't be a sinner. You can't be a sinner. Because if you're a sinner and you call on to the Most High, He's not really hearing you.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. Salaki, you got anything?
If I may, I want to also touch on the time frame we're in. And you have to I always say, put yourself in the mind frame of a priest and prophet throughout the whole Bible, because You are them, they are you. Everything they go through, you're going to go through. Right now, he is not in his land. Well, he's in the land that's promised to him, but the land that he's going to from Egypt, he's going back to Israel. In this time, there are not Israelites at this time. Israelites have not even been created. So the people in that land are Canaanites. That is a Hamitic nation. So he's surrounded by Hamites. The Lord does not dwell with Hamites, so Hamites can do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it. He has to realize he's the only person like himself, him and the people underneath him, his wife, and Lot. They are the only people that's serving the Lord at this point in this land, because that is the land of Ham. So he has to realize he's surrounded by who? Enemies. When you're outside, everywhere you go, you're surrounded by enemies, because you are the only people on the planet Earth that serves the Lord. No one else serves the Lord. No one else is even trying to serve the Lord. They claim they are, but they don't. Everyone says they serve the Lord, but they do not. You do. Everyone serves whatever God that they want to serve, that they've made up in their mind. You don't. You serve the guy who does not give a damn about what you think, which makes you better than them. But here's what Abram knows. Let's get Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Does he not know this from Noah? Remember, the Lord took down the whole earth. He wiped the whole earth out. That's how you get into a mind of a Christian. A Christian believes that God is for everybody. He loves everybody. And there's no evil that the Lord can do to you. Yes, he can. He destroyed the whole earth. He's going to do it again. He could have did it then. He could have did it then, but he didn't. He didn't. But here's what Abram knows. If he decides to do it, he won't take me. Why? Because I call upon the name of the Lord. Why do I call upon the name of the Lord? Going back to what the other one said. Because you're righteous. Because you don't sin. So the Lord will hear you and the Lord will save you. Here's what Abram knows. Let's go to Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 10. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 2 and 10 right quick. Don't switch, y'all. Wait a minute. Pay your shit, man. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 10. Right? Here we go. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see. This is what Abram did. Abram's not the first person on earth. Abram had examples to look at. Abram knew the story, just like you have. You're not the first person on earth. You have examples to look at right now. Verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Abram went to that altar and called upon the Lord because he know the Lord would not despise him. Whatever you're going through, the Lord will not forsake you. He will not. It seems like you're going through something right now. Trust me, you're not going through nothing. You're not. The people outside of the school, the people outside of this building, them Christians, they about to go through it. They about to go through it. Everybody who puts money before the Lord, they're about to really go through it. Guess what? You're going to sit in here and you're going to dwell in the fatness. You're sitting in New Jerusalem right now. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. The Lord is prepping us to get our land back, and you don't even know it. So the things you go through is small, it's minimal in comparison to what is about to happen. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. That's what Abram knew, and that's what you should know. Through your time of affliction, the Lord will save you. What you going through, the Lord just testing you out, seeing how much you want it, seeing how much you want this, seeing if the kingdom of heaven is fit for you, or well, I should say, are you fit for the kingdom of heaven? This is what Abram understood. This is what your forefather understood. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they understood these things. Noah, he understood these things. Enoch understood these things. Arphaxad understood these things. Eber understood these things. Adam understood these things. Abel understood these things. Steph understood these things. These are things you must understand. Everything in this Bible is written for you. That is why we're going over this. You are just like Abram was surrounded by enemies, so are you. So are you. Everything he's gonna go through, you're gonna go through. Everything every priest and prophet in this Bible is going through, You're gonna go through it. You can't escape it. You can't escape the test. You can't escape the Lord testing you to see if you're if he gives you mercy or not to get to the kingdom. You can't escape it. I digress. 13 and where was it? 4.
Yeah, I think you
Finished 4. Verse 5. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents.
So just real quick, just remember earlier in chapter 12, it wasn't just Abram and Sarai. Lot, who is who? I'll give y'all a little bit. I'll see if y'all remember. Who is Lot to Abram?
I'm sure about the answer. I know.
No, I already know you know. I'll make sure everybody's just paying attention. Who is Lot to Abram? What is he?
Come on, somebody. Somebody who's been in class.
We know you.
Look at that.
His nephew. Most
Look
times.
at that. Look at that.
40.
Oh, why are we paying attention, bro?
Yeah, he's his nephew. So it wasn't just Abram and Sarah. I know we've been speaking a lot about them, but Lot also was accompanying them at that time as well.
Right.
And those, I'm not going to give it away too much because I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit when we get past some of these verses. But just know that Lot is with them as well.
Right.
You got anything before we continue?
Live, sir. Verse 6. And the land was not able to bear them. I really want y'all to listen close to these next few verses because it's going to make a point, and it's something that we all should really understand and wrap our mind around, especially in these times. Verse 6. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzites dwelled then in the land.
One kind of pop quiz. Who are Perizzites? Who are they? What nation do they fall under?
Come on, y'all. It's very simple.
Who are the Perizzites? I'll give y'all a little bit. I'm gonna make y'all at least put an answer down. Esau. So no, but I'm glad you answered though. Okay, the Africans. Okay. You're right. Who specifically though? Remember, there's multiple nations of Ham. So who specifically?
Right.
What nation do the Perizzites fall under? Maybe y'all a little longer. If y'all don't get them, just give it to you and I'll give you a little history on what Perizzites like the meaning, the Hebrew for. So somebody said Esau, you said Africans, which you're not wrong, but like who specifically?
We want specifics. I believe it was in Genesis 10. Ain't it? About yeah. It had to be Genesis 10.
All right, so for the sake of time, so the Perizzites fall under the Canaanites. They are a Canaanite tribe. Perizzite in Hebrew means belonging to a village. They inhabited southern Canaan prior to the conquest. So just a little history for y'all to know about that. Yeah, I thought you said parasites. I know.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But that's a parasite. They are the nation of Canaan. Just wanted to bring that up. You got anything before we continue?
Live, sir. Verse 8. Now remember, there's strife between Abram's herdman and Lot's herdman. Verse 8. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife. I'll read it again. Verse 8. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Do you understand the power of that scripture? This is why you should read the Bible. This is why you should know the Bible. That one scripture alone could end gangbanging. It could stop it. It could end a war between two rival neighborhoods. It could stop it. It could stop it. We be brethren. Let no strife be between you and I. They saw where it was going. Imagine most people you got big homies, you know what I'm saying? You got OGs, and they know the young bucks are getting at it, they're getting active. Who can stop that? The older men's supposed to stop that. Why? Because they're supposed to be the men with wisdom. They should know what it can lead to. They should know what type of time can happen after that. If we start throwing hands, me and you both know what's happening after that. This right here can stop every problem in the Black and Hispanic neighborhood. This could stop everything. We're brethren. There's no reason why me and you should be having strife. They knew something. They honored something that we don't honor. We don't honor brotherhood. Your life is more important than mine. And to you, my life should be more important than yours. Instead of us taking out one another, we should be standing up for one another. There should be no strife. Abram knows this. This is his nephew. How many times you seen two cousins, one of the same family members, but one lives over here in the 50s and the other one lives over here in the 60s or the 30s, and they got a problem with each other? That doesn't make any sense.
Now, Isaac, if I could you give me Proverbs 28 and 25? Just go on what he's saying. Well, get strife. What does it say about strife in the Bible?
This is easy money. This is easy money. Read this Bible. Understand this Bible. See what these priests and prophets go through. You're not the only one with beef. You're not the only one with a problem. You're not the only one that don't like what somebody did. But somebody, you have to do something that you've never done in your life. You have to do something that's never been taught in this place. You have to be the bigger person. You have to be. You have to stand in, you have to swallow your pride and be the bigger person, because you're supposed to be the smart one. You're supposed to say, I know where this can go, and I don't want it to go there. So for my mother not to cry, for my cousins not to want to get active, for my father not to hurt, for my sister not have to bury me, how about this? Let there be no strife, because we are brethren. You got that?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 25. He that is of a proud heart stirs up strife.
Keep going.
But he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat.
Now, when it says be made fat, does it literally mean fat? No, not literally, meaning fat of the land, fat of knowledge. You will be in an abundance of things, right? Because like we said, well, actually, it's like not what we said, what Abram said, where right here where it says, in between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Come on, we're supposed to be brothers. We're supposed to be sisters. We're not supposed to have discord between us, because you know what's going to happen? You got discord between your fellow tribesmen, so to speak. Esau, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, is going to play off of that. And he's still doing it today. We were just talking about this on the way over here, as usual. We always have our conversations before we get to class. For those of y'all who might not know, our Levite brothers and sisters, so-called Haitians, they've been going through it for quite some time now. All right, what they're going through over there, for those of y'all who don't know, Esau controls most of the media over here. So on most westernized media, they have this man, it's Jimmy something, his name is French, but he's a Levite. They're saying that he is a cannibal. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first seen it, I'm like, what is going on? Because there's so much discord that's going on in Haiti right now, of course, caused by the white man. It was a very believable story. Now, upon further investigation and also speaking with Levite brothers in the school, find out that this man is in fact not a cannibal.
Right.
But the thing is, right there, that's discord. That Esau wants Haitians to not have his brothers and sisters help him.
Right.
Because now I see a bunch of different, like Benjamin, a lot of Caribbean brothers and sisters, Judah, a lot of southern tribes, they all sharing the story of what's going on with Haiti, trying to get the word out there. But Esau, he doesn't want everybody to know what's going on in Haiti. Give you a brief history of Haiti. This happened all the way back to 1915 to 4, there were Marines that were sent over there. And as usual, what does Esau do? He robs you of your resources. Haiti is actually second in the world with an abundance of, it's called iridium, and it's used for batteries, coils, like your everyday things that you would need. It's very resistant to heat. Well, it's not native to America. So what do you think Esau, who runs America, is going to do? He's going to want it. But you think he's going to pay for it?
Come on.
You think the nature of Esau, how greedy he is, you think he's going to pay the Haitians for their iridium? If he did that, Haiti would be rich. They'd be rich. They have gold mines in Haiti. A lot of people don't know that. So, of course, he's not going to pay a real Israelite for their resources. No, they're going to take it.
Right.
By force. So, sending troops out there. At that time, this is when like the colonization like really, I ain't gonna say started, but there was a lot of colonization going on in Haiti at this time. They ended up robbing at the time $500,000. You know, mind, just in the 1950s. This was a lot of money back then. $500,000 out of the Haitian National Bank. France, of course, took control over Haiti. That's why they speak Haitian Creole, which is derivative from French. They ended up taking control of all their banks, all their assets, anything that Haiti could profit off of. The French owned that. And now I found this out maybe about last week. Haiti has been in debt to the US and France ever since then. That's why they're poor. That's why they're poor. It's no different than what happens to so-called Black Americans here in America. All right. Everybody likes to point fingers at Black people in America and say, oh, you know, it's your guys' fault. It's your fault that you're poor. All the resources are here, but they don't take into account of how slavery deeply impacted all of us. Because guess what? You as a white person, you might have never owned slaves. Good for you. I mean, I hope you didn't.
Right.
You know, I guess you're a decent human being, so to speak. But guess what? You still profit off of not what your ancestors did, but what your people do as well, because they built this society for you to prosper. If you are a white man or woman in America and you are poor, you failed. You failed. This was built for you. This is built for you to succeed. You got the helping hand. We got it hard out here. My whole point being is we were stripped of everything. A lot of them, they had generational wealth. They had proper education. They had resources. We didn't have that. Everything was ripped away from us. So what do we have to do? We had to start from scratch. And then when we did have our own communities, we did have our own schools, we did have our own nurses and doctors. Guess what? You bombed us.
That's crazy.
You destroyed it. All right. You tarred and feathered us and dragged us in the middle of the street for us just existing. So we didn't have anything else. So what do we have to do? We had to assimilate with you. Before it was whites and colors. Now we're like, well, white people got it good. So we got to go over there. I want to drink from the whites only fountain. I want to go to a whites only restaurant.
Right.
You know, I want equal rights. And then of course, Civil Rights Act came along and so on and so forth. Now, fast forward to 2024, here we are, and we're still fighting for the right to be viewed as normal human beings. They're still passing laws. I believe it's called the Crown Act. I forgot what the acronym stands for, but what it's for is for Black men and women to be able to have braids at work. Because you are, in most places, that's deemed unprofessional. If you're clean shaven and you got a little fade, you got a one on your head, then okay, yeah, you look up to standards. If you are a sister, you either got to cut your hair really low, or you got to perm and press it. You got to straighten out your hair and style it like a white woman, because in their eyes, that is deemed professional. We don't look like them. We're never gonna look like them. We look like us. We have braids. We have froze. Our hair goes up. Our hair doesn't go down. It's just how it is. That's how we were made. But they make you feel like you are an animal damn near.
Right.
So we still have laws that have to be passed today. We still have to deal with redlining. You wonder why we're so damn poor. You look at Chicago, you look at Memphis, you look at all these different areas where it's predominantly Black people, and you're wondering, why is it so poor? Because they want us all there. If you got all the Black people over here, then you got all the whites over here, we can put all the money. They can have the good streets.
Right.
They can have clean water. They can have working lights. You go to a Black neighborhood where you got potholes. I done hit about 5 of them on the way over here. You can San Bernardino right now.
Right.
All right. Why? Because predominantly so-called blacks and Hispanics live here due to redlining. Section them off. We'll worry about the white people over here. It's colonization. It's no different than what's happening to Haiti. They're still in debt. They're still poor because of European Edomite influence. But how does he do that? One, of course, we already know. It's like I'm gonna wrap it up. We already know that, of course, we disobeyed the Most High. That's why we're at where we're at right now. But my whole point being is Esau knows that the 12 tribes of Israel, the real 12 tribes, not them Israelis, not them Jewish people, came together and had actual brotherhood, actual sisterhood. We didn't have strife, and we served the Most High the way we're supposed to. Guess what? We would be unstoppable. But he can't let that happen. So he's going to feed fake news.
Right.
He's going to have everybody thinking, oh, the Haitians, they're just destroyed. You know, they can't do anything by themselves. That's why we need to send U.S. troops over there to make sure that they're good. No, you send the U.S. troops over there because you want their resources. That's what you really do. And you want Haiti to be in a state of chaos, because if everybody else believes that Haiti can't function by itself, it gives you all the more reason. Well, maybe we should be in charge, because obviously they can't do anything by themselves. Little do you know, it's really Esau is the one that's backing everything up.
Right.
So he's sowing discord. He's causing strife. The Dominican Republic and Haiti, I mean, y'all on the same island. Y'all been having beef since forever. Why? Because of colorism.
Crazy.
I found out that, again, not all Dominicans, of course, but some Dominicans on the island believe that if you're too black, you're not even Dominican. You're Haitian. You could be born and raised in the Dominican Republic, both your parents are Dominican, but if you look too dark, oh, you're not even one of us. You got to go over there. They'll kick you out. Why? Y'all are brothers and sisters. Y'all on the same damn island. Y'all just, one was colonized by the Spanish, the other was by the French, but they're both Edomites. You know, same thing. Now y'all fighting for what? What? Imagine if the DR and Haiti came together and fought alongside each other. That'd be a problem for Esau, but he can't have that.
Right.
So he causes strife. Salaki, that's all.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Yeah, Christ read the records. You want to be the greatest man alive, read the Old Testament, embodied the Old Testament, was the law. Not only did he follow, here's what the Lord gives you. He gives you the law, he gives you statutes, and he gives you commandments, but he always gives you examples. There's always going to be wisdom shown on why you should do something. And that's where you get your understanding. Wisdom is just the practical application of knowledge. That's all it is. Through that, you get understanding because you know why you should do something the way you should do it. We're reading it right now in verse 8. Genesis 13 and 8. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Are you better than our patriarch? No. So why don't you just be more like him? So like, and if I may, I gotta read the Hebrew. Oh, go ahead. All right. The book of let me get this right now. It's like, y'all, we got to do the next 7 verses, but I'm just finish it out in the Hebrew. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 8 in the Hebrew. My Waya Aitakwa, Masham, Hahara, Makwadam, Wayasai, Abaram, Halawa, Tazah, Wana, Sawal, Hana, Gaba, Yahweh, Ra'ai, Ba'aratazah, Wayarada, Abaram, Matazah, Rayama, Lagawar, Shum, Kaya, Kabat, Hara'ai, Ba'aratazah, Wayahayim, Ba'ashar, Hakwa, Raya, Laba, Wa'a, Matazar, Yama, Waya Amar, Al Shaya, Ashatwa, Hanaha, Na'a, Yada Aita, Yada Aitaya, Kaya, Asha, Yapath, Mara'ath, Atha, Ath, Wahayaha, Kaya, Yara'awa, Athak, Hama, Tazarayam, Wa'amarwa, Ashathwa, Za'ath, Wa'aragawa, Athaya, Wa'athaka, Yakad, Yawab, Amaria, Na'a, Akatya, Ath Lama'ain Yayatab Layub Ba'ibub Waraka Wahayath Napashya Bagalaka Wayahaya Kabad Wa'a Abaram Matazar Rayama Ha Matazar Rayam Ath Hayasha Kaya Yapa Hawa'a Ma'idub Waya Ra'awa Ata Para'ihub Waya Hallelujah Ata All Para'ihub Wata Kwakha Ha'asha Baya Para'ihub Wala'a Baram Hayatayab Ba'aibu Wara Wayahaya Lawa Taza Ana Wabakhor Wakha Maryam Wa'adayam Wa'abayam Washa Pakha Wa'ata Wa'atanath Washa Pakha Wa'atanath Wagamaluyam Wayangai Yahweh Ath Para'ihim Nagayam Gadayam Wa'ath Bayathwa Al Dabar Shaya Ashathwa Salakia Wayahaya Amar Al Abaram Akarya Haparad Lawat Ma'ayim Sha'a Na'ai Ayanka Wara'a Mahamakwayam Ashar Athasham Tazapana Wanagaba Wakwadama Wayama verse 17 Kwaramam Hata Halak Ba'aratazah La'iraka Walar Kaba Kaya Laka Athana Wayahal Abarum Wayaba'am Wayashab Ba'al Nayab Mama Ra'a Ashar Baka Baraywan Wayaban Sham Mazabaka Layab Hawa. Okay, let's get back to Genesis 13, verse, what was it? Verse 8? Verse 9. Verse 9. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou would take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. This is being the bigger person. Hey man, you got first deals, man. What side do you want? You want over here or you want over there? Or you want over there and I'll take over here. Which one do you want? Wherever you go, I'll go the opposite way because we have too much. Mm-hmm. And because we have so much, we have little to beef over. There's nothing for you and I to have a problem with. We shouldn't have any problems right now. We should have no strife with one another. We should just figure this out. And Abram became the bigger man. He went to his brethren, him and him alone, and asked him which side he wanted. And guess what? They came to some type of conclusion, some type of matter, and it worked out for the best. Verse 10. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar.
All right, so I mean, yeah, we can talk about it. So what? Okay, let me ask you something. What does Sodom mean in the Bible? I'm asking y'all two different questions. What does Sodom, the word Sodom, mean in the Bible? Y'all heard us use this term a lot. What does the word Sodom mean biblically? And of course, I'll give y'all a brief history, and then I'll also go over a word just to further emphasize how wicked Sodom and Gomorrah was. What does the word Sodom mean? In fact, not as up. What does Sodom mean in the Bible? not the other one. What does Sodom mean in the Bible? You know? Anybody know? Most High in Christ. See? Most High in Christ. Brother said burning. Yes. Sodom means burning. Let me give y'all some history real quick. So the word Sodom, the biblical usage, means burning. a Canaanite city usually paired with Gomorrah, of course, which we already know of, located in the area of the Dead Sea and the Jordan River. Both cities destroyed by God in judgment. It also can refer to scorch or burnt. Now, read this real quick. See if I can get it. I'm going to read to you, just to show you, because we go over it later and when we finish up the verses, but I want to show you this. There's a phrase called sodomize that correlates to the nation, or I guess you could say the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm going to read this for you. The term sodomy comes from the Latin phrase, the peccatum sodomicum, the sin of Sodom, and frequently meant, Salakia, anal sex between men, referencing the story of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 19. However, the term sodomy has also often been used in laws criminalizing any kind of sexual contact that was seen as unnatural.
Come on.
Y'all don't be thinking the Bible is real. The Bible is real.
It's real.
The things that you see today come from the Bible. Everything comes from the Bible. The Bible is science, science is the Bible. So much that a word, a criminal act, to this day in modern law, goes to the lineage of the word Sodom and Sodom and Gomorrah. And I want y'all to peep something. I know we in, I gotta be like politically correct when I talk. We're in Rainbow Land, like that, right? We live in the world of Babylon, where he makes you believe that you can be whatever you want to be, and you know we should all just come to hold hands together and sing Kumbaya no matter what you decide to do. No, the Lord never wanted that for you.
Right.
Okay, you can go read it in Leviticus where it says that a man shall not lie with a man as if she's a woman. I'm paraphrasing. We've heard this before. You ain't even got to go to it. The point being is it's unnatural. And I'm not even saying that.
Right.
That's not even me. They're telling you that it's unnatural. It's not just something. Oh, Most High in Christ, sorry. But it's not just something that is as same-sex marriage. It is deemed unnatural. Sodomy or to sodomize someone, even regardless of gender, is deemed as a criminal act and unnatural according to modern law. Where they get that law from? The God of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm gonna let y'all know how evil Sodom and Gomorrah was. This is a brief history because eventually we're gonna read it. I just found out recently, this is in Elk Grove, California, that the Elk Grove Elementary School was secretly holding a club to discuss LGBTQ matters to second and third grade children. Now I'm saying secretly because parents were outraged because they didn't know. They left it out the news, and at the school you had to give out permission slips in order for your parental guardian to sign for so you could be in that club. They didn't do that with this. They didn't. I forgot the name of the teacher, but the guy, he had a shirt, Edomite. Shouldn't be surprised. He said that I am the teacher that Fox News warns you about. I want y'all to understand that.
You're disgusting.
The parents, of course, were outraged, went to the school board, started going off on them because they're like, how dare you sit here and teach this to our children? You want to know why they teach it to the children? Because children are impressionable. I believe it's the ages from their infant to 5 is when they're in their developmental period. Mm-hmm. They learn a lot. That's why kids, they get into everything. They're trying to learn. We teach a child how to play a piano at 2. He or she gonna be the best piano player ever. They're gonna do it through muscle memory because it's already coded into their brain.
Right.
If you teach them that a boy can lie with a boy at 3 years old, guess what? He's gonna think that, oh, this is okay. This is normal. Guess what? He's gonna grow up to be like that. If you, Salakia, for you pedos out there, you wanna know why they go for children most of the time? They go for children because that's the spirit of Sodom.
Right.
They go for the children to put that same spirit in them. That's why a lot of people who sexually assault someone, they were sexually assaulted. Somewhere in their brain, in their body, something is telling them to do it. It happened to you. You should do it to somebody else. That's how sodomy spreads. It's assaulting because I'm just going to tell it to you like this. I don't need an advocacy for my sexuality.
Right.
The Lord telling you, hey, a man should lie with a woman. We don't need that. We don't need to have heterosexual pride month.
Right.
We don't need that. You want to know why we don't need that? Because we don't need to push an agenda. Because we know that a man and a woman coming together makes children. Our sexuality makes children. Yours doesn't. So if a man and a woman are both heterosexual, you will have a child. Literally. But if a man lies with a man or a woman lies with a woman, they can't have a child. So
they can have AIDS.
Yeah. But you want to know how they can make another one of them? Put it like this. We're a human, you want to make another one of you. Pretty much. Let's put it like that. You made the procreate, right? So you want to make another one of you. What do you do? As a man, you get with a woman. Now you got kids. Guess what? You're gonna raise your son, you're gonna raise him righteously. He's gonna come of age at some point. Eventually, you're gonna have to talk with him when he's of age, of course. He's gonna like women. But a daughter, eventually she's gonna get older. She's gonna want to be with a man. And guess what? Then they're gonna have kids. And so on and so on. Pretty simple, right? Well, a man with a man or a woman with a woman, guess what? You can't do that. So you know what you're gonna do? Odds are you're gonna influence the children, or you're gonna sexually assault somebody. Because that's the only way that sodomy can spread. It's the only way. And we're going to show you how, well, not really show you, but even the Lord mentions how wicked Sodom and Gomorrah was. We're actually going to go over it later in these verses when we finish up. Salaki, you got anything?
Lie, sir. I mean, you touched on it. Yeah, them people nasty. Verse 10. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Verse 11. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Quick question. When we got to the land of Israel, when it was our land, who dwelled on the east of the Jordan River? Just a quick question. Pop trivia. You should know this. You should know this. If you don't know, don't worry, I'm going to tell you anyway. But who dwelled? I'll give you some time to look at a map. I'm not saying anything you can't just look up. Who dwelled on the east of the Jordan? Remember that land, all that land is our land. Every last strip of that land is our land. So which tribes dwelled on the east of Jordan? And I want the precept. I'll give it to you in a couple seconds. If you don't know, don't sweat it. I'm gonna give it to you. Who dwelled on the east of Jordan? Because you got to think, most of us dwelled on the west side of Jordan. Who dwelled on the east side? Not Isupk, sir. No. So it was a tribe of Israel, but which specific tribes?
On the east of the Jordan?
Yeah. With Joshua 28. Matter of fact, that is gonna be that. I had another one before that, but I believe that's gonna be that as well. With Joshua 28. Boom. There you go. Yep. The book of Joshua. Get that man a hand, man. Young man D out there in Vegas showing off. We see you, my boy. We see you, man. The book of Joshua, chapter 20, verse 8. And on the other side, Jordan by Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. So Manasseh was so big, it had parts of west of Jordan, and it had parts of the east. And then Gad and Reuben also was over there. Why? Because they had so much cattle, and there was so many plains over there, they decided to dwell east of Jordan. Because it was that is where you want to raise your cattle. You have to understand geography and placement of people. We're not stupid. If I need some type of resource, I need to go to where these resources are at. They saw the east and they didn't even cross over because of our path getting into Israel. They decided to stay on the east side. But during the war, they came over to the west to help us. But they remained on the east side because of the plains and all the cattle. That shout out to yep. Shout out to young man D, man. We see you, man. We appreciate that too. Anyway, while I was there, the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 11. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom or Sodom. Verse 13. But the men of Sodom were wicked.
They were what?
Were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
So remember what I said earlier, that eventually it's going to be said that Sodom was wicked. And I'm not really revealing anything because many people have heard of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, which eventually we're going to get into more in depth later. But yes, Sodom was wicked. So wicked that, yes, the Lord had to destroy it.
Come on.
The Lord had to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Pop quiz. How did the Lord destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? This is a pretty famous one in the Bible. So y'all should know at least some history about this. How did the Lord destroy Sodom and Gomorrah?
And why?
I know you know.
We do not want to ask no 500.
You said what? No.
We do not want to ask. He's joking, everybody.
Yeah, he's joking.
You know the Bible more than I do. That's great. Yeah.
Brimstone and fire. Yes, you are right. Now I got another question because he's right with brimstone and fire. Who did he send to Sodom and Gomorrah?
Easy money.
Because he's right. Super Warrior is right. Yes, he destroyed it with fire and brimstone. Okay, let me word it like this. How did the Lord know that Sodom and Gomorrah was wicked? I kind of gave you like a hint. He sent something there. The angels of death, Most High in Christ. He sent the angels, 2 angels disguised as men.
Right.
They went through there because they wanted to see, okay, who can we save out of here? You know, because put it to you like this: Sodom and Gomorrah was going to be destroyed regardless. It's going to happen, right? The angels gave them a report, Most High in Christ. Same way angels give a report on you. I'm glad y'all been paying attention because the Lord knows what's going on with you because the angels, you better get that precept. The angels are over you, so they go back to the Most High. Think of it as a worker. Like, hey, boss, this is what's going on with this project right here.
Right.
You know, and then he's later known. And then whatever the Most High decides to do after that, that's his choice. Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 2. So, let me start at verse 1.
Go ahead.
Let brotherly love continue. Verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Here's what you understand. How do you think? Okay, let's go back to the original point. Why did Abram call on the Lord? Because Abram knew that the Lord would save him in situations. If Abram is Lot's uncle, who would Lot listen to? Abram. So what did Lot know? He knew to call upon the Lord as well. Why? Because in certain situations and afflictions, the Lord was to save you, the same way the Lord saved Noah and his family. So Lot understood that, knew the records, had the records. It was passed down orally. He understood what was going on. I know we're jumping the gun. We're going to get back. We're going to touch on it anyway.
We're going to get to that eventually. So y'all
he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Why did he not destroy Lot? You put it in the chat in the water. Yeah, the angels gave a report. He entertained these angels or these strangers unaware who were angels. He entertained these men. He saw that they were brothers. Saw that he was his brethren. He said, "Hey, look, let me help you out. You come to my house for the night. You can chill." While everybody else is out there being wicked and looking at them like they bums or whatever they was looking like, and only ones that have their way with them, Lot decided to be a brethren with them. Lot decided to let brotherly love continue. He entertained those angels. Those angels gave the report to the Most High. Most High said, "You know what? Just save Lot and his family." Wouldn't you want that to be you? During all the midst of the chaos that's going on outside, sister, all the women that you see, they're whores, okay? They're promiscuous women. They can't keep a man. They cannot keep a man. They can't. They can only have a man for 6 months to a year. And even then, he's going to sleep with anybody else behind her back lying to her. Sister, you out here, your man can't go through your phone because you're a whore too. While they're doing that, you shouldn't do it. Why? So when it's coming down, trust me, fire and brimstone is coming down. Maybe the Lord will have mercy on you and try to save your life too. Maybe you should entertain these strangers that you know nothing about sitting in these chairs right now that you may see. Maybe you should entertain us. Maybe you should entertain other strangers and be nice and kind to them so the Lord will get a report that, hey, this person is worth saving. Anything else, sir?
No, just real quick. Yeah, like I really want people to really harp on what that's saying. Like, you never know. You never know who you're talking to. You know, like that could be, you might walk by an angel today, but that angel might be disguised as a bum.
Right.
You don't know. Be kind.
Be kind.
Be generous. Be righteous. Because at that time, Lot could have easily, he didn't know that they were angels. That's my whole point. He didn't know that they were angels.
Right.
The Lord knew that they were angels. They knew that they were angels. Lot didn't know they were angels. But he saw them as neighbors and said, hey, you know, y'all traveling through the city, y'all can come up in here. While the whole city is looking at these two men like, oh, who are they? And they want to sodomize them. And then guess what? The angels, they looking around like, oh, wow, y'all nasty.
Right.
But Lot and his family, they were hospitable.
Come on.
They were very honorable. So you know what? Later, you know, and again, I'm not really, this is the brief version, but we'll get into it again later when we go through Sodom and Gomorrah chapters. My point, I believe, is Genesis 19. The angels told Lot, hey, get you and your family up out of here, because this whole place is going to burn down. What did Lot do? He got his family. He actually tried to save his wife. It wasn't his wife. I'm trying to word it correctly. It was his other daughters that weren't living with him, their husbands. So he tried to save the other extension of his family, his son-in-laws. Salaki, I couldn't think of worse. His son-in-laws, and they didn't want to listen to him. Because again, they're listening to him like, what? Like, what you talking about? Same thing with Noah. Noah, he warned people. They ain't listen. Guess what? Hey, look, that flood came though.
Right.
The flood came, and guess who was saved? Noah and his family.
Right.
When the angels warned Lot, and Lot's telling the rest of his family who doesn't live with him, like, hey, like, we got to get up out of here because, you know, the Lord about to strike this place down. They didn't believe him. Guess what? That fire and brimstone still came down. And yes, real quick, yes, later, as they were leaving, his wife passed too. Pop quiz. Why did his wife pass?
That's going to be a heavy breakdown. We just need the quick version right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to. We'll get into it later because, trust me, we're in 13 now. We're going to finish up 13. All this is going to come up again when we do eventually get back to 19.
Right.
Why? What? Okay, let me put it to you like this. What did Lot's wife do that caused her to die? What did she do? She did one thing.
You troopers should know. A warrior, you definitely should know it.
She did one thing that she wasn't supposed to do. She looked back into her old life. I'll take it. Look back. I'll take it. Most High in Christ. She looked back. Angels told him, don't look back. Just look forward. Put it like this. There's a burning building, and the firemen are coming to come save you, your wife, your kids. And all they're telling you is, hey, just don't look back. You know, don't hesitate. Just go forward. And you're done behind. Give me a second. I got it. You got it? All right. But you're done behind the side. You know what? I left my Xbox.
Right.
I left my PS5. I just bought this new chain. I left that. I left my shoes. And you turn back. And as you turn back, you might be downstairs. A piece of fiery wood comes down and just boom, knock you out. Now you're in the smoke. You done passed out. They can't save you. You die. Congratulations. Listen to instruction.
That's the point I want to get. Y'all right, but I want y'all to really say it. Mm-hmm. She didn't follow orders. It's funny. Matter of fact, he's funny. Deal what black people do when you say you don't look back. She looked back.
Exactly.
A matter of fact, we was in the car the other night. It was not that I was asleep. We was in the Uber, and it was only people that was awake was a warrior and myself. And I remember I told a warrior, and I hope he remembers this. I said the solution is in the order. The solution to your problems are in the order. Whatever order you get, I guarantee you that's the solution. You might not know that's the solution, but I can guarantee you that's the solution. Whatever is in that order for you to do will save your life. It will save your life. Go grab a bottle of liquor. Whatever is in that order, you go do, because that's going to save your life. You might not see it as that, but it's going to save your life. Take out the trash. That right there is going to save your life. It's building you up. So when you need some real orders to get to you, you can complete those orders. When we say don't look back, you won't look back. Why? Because you took out that trash. Why? Because you showed up to class. Why? Because you cleaned the bathroom. All of us has done it, and we still do it. We're always going to be troopers. The best troopers make the best generals. Why? Because we just follow orders. It's not about how good you can give an order. It's about how good you can take an order and do the order. So like,
yeah, because if you can't take orders, you can't give orders. Just put it like that. So like, we
verse 14.
yeah, you're right.
The book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 14. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, southward, eastward, and westward. Verse 15. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
It says to who?
And to thy seed forever.
It's about Abram's seed. Right?
Abram's seed.
This again, hint.
Come on.
We always talk about it. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who was before Abraham? Shem. There's a long lineage.
Right.
So he's saying, hey, your seed, I'll give forever. But it's very vague, right? Like a Christian will look at that and that means everybody that came from Adam.
Come on.
Everybody. Because Abram, which later Abraham, when he's changed, when he becomes a new creature, father of a multitude, right? Abraham wasn't just the father of Israel. But who is the God of? It's like, who is God the God of? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name later changed to Israel. Not of everybody.
Right.
You got
Romans 9:7. Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
And if I could, I'm glad you brought up that precept. You can go back to 2 Ezra 6:56. We bring up that one up quite a bit.
Right.
Talking about everybody, everybody tries to argue, oh, we all come from Adam. Yeah, so what? Oh, guess what? I'll put it to you like this. Esau comes from Abram.
That's true.
Is he God's chosen people? No. Guess what? God hates Esau. Why? Because of the way he looks? Because he has pale white skin? Because he's hairy? No. Because of his actions. He gave up his birthright. Remember that. Some people try to say that Jacob tricked him. He didn't trick him. He gave up his birthright because usually, in a lot of customs actually, you give your eldest the inheritance, right? So in, I'll say, Isaac's eyes, he was going to give Esau the blessing. And what did Jacob do? I'm just giving you a brief little history because we're going to read this later on too. I believe this is in like 25. And so on and so forth. Esau was a cunning hunter. That's his thing. He hunts, which I'm pretty sure all y'all know at this point. That was his gift. He was actually blessed with a sword later on. But before that, he was a hunter. He was the eldest. Jacob was more, they described him as a plain man. He was very chill. He did his duties, but he was very chill. Well, there was a time where Jacob walked up to him. He asked him, for the blessing. Esau didn't have to give him the blessing, but he did. You want to know what he gave it up for? For some food. He said, I don't even want this. I'm hungry now. Give me this food now, and I'll give you the blessing. But then later got upset when Isaac was given the blessings on his deathbed, and he couldn't give Esau that blessing. He had to give him the blessing of the sword. And what did Esau do? For the sake of time, I'll just give it to you real quick. He cursed against Jacob that he was going to slay his brother. Now, that should let you know the nature of Esau, because he didn't actually slay his brother. Jacob ended up, moving out, having 4 wives. So he didn't actually slay him figuratively. No, he wants to slay his generations, his descendants. That's what was cursed. And that's why Esau hates Jacob so much. That's why these so-called Europeans hate us so much. Don't be fooled. That's their nature. That's his spirit. Don't think of it in a carnal sense. Salakia. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 31:1. Great precept. At the same time, saith the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. I don't know how. Look, you cannot prove to me that God is the God of everybody. You cannot show it to me. Please, if you can show it to me, I'll drop everything and follow you. I guarantee that. I'll give you every dollar in my bank account. Ain't much, but I give you every dollar in the bank account, and I would drop this and follow you. But you can't show me that. You can't show me where it's giving you a prime example of him saying he's the God of everybody except Israel or including Israel. You can't show me where it says he's the God of Esau, he's the God of Edom, he's the God of Elam, he's the God of Japheth, he's the God of Ham, he's the God of Canaan. You can't show me any of that. The same way I can show you he's the God of Israel. That's just one precept. We got 100 of them.
Yeah, it's too many to name.
You have to really understand, and I want you to really understand what the Lord is telling this man and what he's doing for this man. Let's go to Genesis 12:7. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto them. Go back to Genesis 13:15. For all the land which thou seest to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. The Lord does not lie. The Lord made an oath. The Lord made a promise. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. Numbers 23:19. That's what I want. Numbers 23:19. He made an oath with this man. He told this man, he made a covenant with him, a contract with him. He told this man, hey, serve me. I'm going to give you this land. I'm going to give your seed this land forever, every generation. The book of Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? The Lord said he's going to give Abram's seed that land for every generation. We're not in that land because we messed up. We didn't honor our end of the bargain. The Lord keeps his promises. You don't. The Lord keeps his promises. We don't. We don't. Yeah, we should stop doing that. We should keep our promises. Quick question. When did the people in Israel get that land? What year? What year? What year did the people in Israel get that land? The Israelis. Those people over there right now, when did they get that land? It was the 20th century, I'll give you that much. When did they get that land? Give me a date. I want a year. 1945. You can say that. Yep. Late 1940s. They got the land of Israel by the British Mandate and Resolution 181, which is also the Partition Resolution. The FBI under President Harry Truman in the United Nations. That's when they got their land. They stole that land. Right? They converted into our spirituality, and they stole it. They stole it. Right? That's our land. The Lord promised it from Abraham and his generations, which we are. He promised and he gave us an oath. He kept his end of the bargain. How about you keep yours? We always scream about we don't have a homeland, we don't have a place to go to. But he's giving you the opportunity to get it. So why don't you just strap up your boots and go get it? The scripture in Daniel 9, I believe the 27th, Daniel the 9th chapter, the 27th verse, said we're going to take the kingdom. We're not going to ask for nothing. The Lord's not asking you to do anything. He's telling you what to do. All you got to do is listen to him and follow him. You get that land. If I may, let me go to Luke, the 1st chapter, in the 71st verse. Let We're going to Luke 1:71, if I may. The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham. This is simple, man. This Bible is simple. These things were promised to Abraham and his seed. Abraham kept his end of the bargain. Isaac kept his end of the bargain. Jacob kept his end of the bargain. We didn't. Verse 74, that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. Yeah, you might just be scared to serve the Lord. You might be a punk. You might just be a big old punk. Guess what? Ain't no punk gonna make it in the kingdom. Ain't no punk gonna make it in the kingdom because your girl don't want you to serve the Lord. You gonna stop serving the Lord, huh? Your girl want a Christmas present. You gonna stop serving the Lord and she gonna leave you? Yeah, you're a punk, and we will not respect you. And you know what's gonna happen? That same girl you gave up the Lord for, she's gonna give you up and leave you. So you might as well just keep serving the Lord. She's gonna leave you any goddamn way.
We're telling you that for a reason, if I could, because there's been plenty of brothers who have come into the school who are not here anymore because they've done just exactly what he's saying right now. They've done that. And guess what? That woman left them. So congratulations. You gave up God for a woman that don't want you.
Guess what? She gonna love you more and respect you more and honor you more if you stay.
Mm-hmm.
How's she gonna trust in you and you sway so weakly because of words? How can you do that? Brothers have lost everything for serving this, and you can't. Yeah, you weak, and I don't want you around me. You can't step in this school. You weak, you weak. But guess what? We can strengthen you in here. Abraham had strength. Isaac had strength. Jacob had strength. The Lord is a man of war. To go to war, you must be a strong person. Yeah, not you though. You weak. You weak as hell. You weak as hell. We can't have you in here. Salakia. Verse 15, for all the land which thou seest to thee will I give it into thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Yeah, if I may, don't pay attention to the census. Black people don't even do the census. We're not even going to tell you how many people are in our household. We're lying anyway, okay? No, you're not going to know how many people stand with me. Okay, don't worry about that Section 8 voucher. You're not going to know how many people are staying with those brothers. It's going to be 10 people in that house, and they ain't going to put down one. It's more than you think. Think about the Northern Kingdom. I don't even know how many it is. Who knows? They don't even have a census.
You know, it's funny. A lot of they lie on the census when like a lot of Latinos come over to America. They try to label the Latinos as white to like boost up the number of white people. But it's funny because the number of white people, I recently just found out again that the numbers are going down. The birth rate is going down. Right. I think we're actually below France. I think we're actually below France. And France is low. They lie to you. They're trying to boost up their numbers with us. It ain't even working. Why?
That's crazy. Verse 17. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Verse 18. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. Do you understand? Everywhere that Abram goes, he builds an altar unto the Lord. Abram is not forgetting the Lord. He's not. Everywhere he goes, he's building an altar. Yeah, you should do that too. A spiritual altar.
If I could real quick, that just goes back to what Abram had to learn prior to him even going out there, was when he was in Egypt again, bringing up how he tried to lie. He had a moment of weakness, right? And he had to get checked. How to get checked? He got checked because guess what the Lord did? He put a plague on Pharaoh's household, and Pharaoh looking at him, which to this day I still find it hilarious. I can just imagine Pharaoh looking at him like, why are you just telling me this, your girl? Come on. You got my house in shambles, and man, take her and leave. Shambles. Because it wasn't just him, it was everybody that lived up in the house.
Right.
My point being is he had to learn. That was a moment of weakness, and he had to learn to be righteous. But it also showed it doesn't matter where you at. It doesn't matter if you're in Egypt, America, Haiti. You could be a black man in China. You could be a Latino in the UK. There's a lot of Latinos in the UK, which is, again, we talk about the transatlantic slave trade. It wasn't just Southern tribe. It was Northern tribe too, because last time I checked, Native Americans, which a lot of Latinos are,
Right.
they not native to the UK. But they out there though. So like it. My point being is it don't matter where you at. Listen to the Lord. The Lord can be with you if you prove it. No
Right.
matter where you're at all times. Whether if you in jail, whether if you ain't got a job, whether if you staying with your mama for right now, whether if you're just homeless, whether if you about to get kicked out of your apartment because you can't pay the damn rent. The Lord with you out. If you prove it. If you're not a sinner. If you're not a sinner, then the Lord hears you. We went over that earlier as well. So like that's all I got. You got anything before we get into prayer?
I'm good, sir.
For the sake of time. So that shalom. The water for everybody that's viewed. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. With that, shalom.
Sure.